It's now time for Onpoint, where we speak to experts to delve deeper into the biggest news stories in the spotlight right now. Of course, one of the top priorities for the incoming Yoon administration is tackling real estate issues, as many blame the current Moon administration for implementing a large number of unnecessary measures, only to see prices continue to rise.
But since real estate issues are never easy to solve, all eyes are on how the next government is going to approach it. And to get an insight on the real estate policies of the next administration, we connect with Oh Joon-seok, professor at Sookmyung Women's University School of Business. Hello, Professor Oh. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. And well, first off, now, many were left scratching their heads when President-elect Yoon picked Won Hee-ryong, former Jeju governor, to head his land policies, his real estate policies. So why do you think he made this choice?
Former Jeju Governor Won Hee-ryong, as you mentioned, was tapped as Minister of Land, Infrastructure and Transport. President-elect Yoon said Won has a great understanding of real estate policy. Won has pledged to scrap a current tenant law and is likely to implement major changes to real estate policies. I'm not the person who knows what's going on inside, but I could understand the signal what President-elect Yoon tried to keep sending in the market. It might be natural only when a few holding abundant capital in hand can access the market, definitely the price will be skyrocketed. Regulations of LTV and DSR have restricted strictly people from housing loan. You can imagine what happened when the public golf course changed into the classy private club. Yoon administration wants to return to the public club. At this moment, it would be the right person who has administrative knowledge and experiences of tackling with regional development plan by law and regulation and fighting against the politicians, not professors. And the conundrum of real estate in Korea has become messier, mainly due to political and government intervention. What to do now is to restore the autonomous situation of real estate transactions where market mechanism works, enlarging and enriching participants by getting rid of redundant regulations in one side and protecting political pressure on the other side simultaneously.
You know, despite, I guess, many of these South Koreans really wanting the next government to tackle the real estate issue first as the top priority, I mean, we already know that the Yoon administration is going to be sort of revealing their real estate policies kind of on a later date. They've already announced this. But nevertheless, Professor Oh, how do you kind of predict the Yoon administration to tackle these issues or some of their real estate policies moving forward?
It seems Yoon administration might differentiate two approaches in real estate policies. First, weight shifting from regulation to market approach. President-elect Yoon put forward many pledges to ease regulation to boost housing demand, such as expanding supply, easing the regulation to mandate the restitution of surplus profit generated by housing reconstruction, revising the regulation to cap the price of the apartment and increasing credit line and so on. And secondly, supply side drive approach. In an ordinary market, definitely consumer has the negotiation power over the seller. But quite differently, in the real estate market, supplier with inelastic supply curve has the negotiation power to control the market because there are at least 3 years of time lags, especially in Korea, between demand and supply. When you thought of yourself that you need a house, it is very hard to delay your purchase plan for more than 3 years. While the suppliers can control the construction plan and even delaying the project could be possible depending on the cost-benefit analysis. That is why the current government had tried to control the elastic demand curve relatively easier to control. It is, however, when the government pressed the demand side down and down, it triggers a stabilizing mechanism, turning on the supply constriction for some lapse of time, eventually pumping price up and up. Everybody knows this expectation. However, it is noteworthy as well at this moment, a hurried easing of regulation could keep the pledge made, could send the wrong signal to the real estate market.
And Professor Oh, President-elect Yoon, he pledged to increase the loan-to-value ratio to 70% for single households and 80% for first home buyers. Now, first-time home buyers, I mean. But will this work, though? I mean, wouldn't this push up housing prices all the same?
Yes, it could possibly trigger a surge in home price. I suppose it might be an interim policy with a destination toward deregulating LTV, which might be desirable on condition the interest rate keep on increasing. When the more buyers with wider preferences can access to the financial institute, the more influence they could have over suppliers, which will help to stabilize the price in the housing market. This deregulation should be backed up and in line with the progress of increasing supply in a specific region. A single change in real estate policy can impact the overall economy by creating chain reaction in the perfect storm crisis of global interest rate rise and inflation. Real estate accounts for almost 80% of the average household assets in Korea. It is certain that cautious steps are needed in real estate market, far from political gestures. While the new government are expected to reduce the burden of transfer income tax to encourage more supply, there are many multiple homeowners who take it differently as a sign to hold out longer. So we have to be more cautious about their policy decision making.
Professor Oh, I wish we had some more time because I'm sure a lot of people have questions when it comes to real estate, but unfortunately we are out of time. Thank you as always for your insights and looking forward to talking to you again.
Thank you for inviting me.